What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new album from Childish Gambino, and it is called 03-15-20 or March 15th, 2020. Now, Childish Gambino is also known as Donald Glover, that's actually his real name, and he is an actor, singer, rapper, jack of all trades who really has been involved in a lot of things. Extremely talented guy, and when he first came out with his music, it was much more rap focused. He always did blend a little bit of singing and a little bit of experimental elements as well, and over the years it seems like that's progressed even more. On his last project, Awaken My Love, we got this psychedelic funk album that was one of my favorite albums of the year when it came out. Absolutely loved that one, and I still have it in rotation. And now with this one, he's still doing something different, because that's how Childish Gambino moves. You know, whenever he drops a project, he's not afraid to try new things, and he isn't going to stay in just one lane. So one of the things I expected going into this is that he would be getting a bit experimental, not just because of that title with the numbers, but even the album art, because you do get this blank canvas that's not showing you anything at all. Maybe you say that's artistic, maybe you say it's lazy, but either way, all it is a damn white cover. Nothing happening there. So right from the start though, as far as the music goes, we're hit with the intro track 000. This one is an atmospheric spacey joint with some glitchy vocals that are just saying "we are" over and over. Again, it's some experimental vibes. Not something I'd come back to and listen to, but it is just the intro, so I get how it's kind of setting the tone. And then the next track, Algorithm, has a little bit of an industrial vibe to it. I get that from the percussion style, which is pretty wild, and also the vocals, which are staticky and a little bit glitchy. They've also got a bit of a croakiness to them, so that's something that's a bit different. And I really didn't like this one at all at first, but it did start to grow on me because it does have a nice rhythm to it, it does bounce, and it has a bit of a cool groove as well, because on the hook, it's borrowing from that classic Janae track called Hey DJ. Thought that was a pretty cool idea because that song is an all-out classic, and the way he's speaking about the ways of the world on this song is pretty interesting, because he has lines like supercomputer status, walking along streets, everyone is an addict, stumbling concrete. And then with the last couple of lines of that first verse, he seems to be rapping about the day-to-day proceedings and routine of human life. So there is a pretty cool idea here that seems to blend the idea of technology, algorithms, human beings, the cyclical nature of things. It was pretty cool, at least that's what I took from it. I could be completely off. But moving forward, we do come to the song Time featuring Ariana Grande. I thought there were some nice vocals and layers on this, as well as some pretty bright guitar that gave it an uplifting feel. And again, they seem to be singing about the ways of the world. There's lines on here about how things aren't always as they seem, we're running out of time. A little bit of a gloomy outlook for a track that does have this bright feel to it, but I thought it was pretty fitting. I'm not sure exactly when this was recorded, but with the coronavirus going around right now, everybody's stuck in their houses and shit, I thought it fit pretty good, as well as some of the other themes that you're going to get on here. I also did like the drums on this. They're just heavier than Sophia Rose. They really hit you in your chest, and there are some nice backup vocals here from Brett Jones and the Best Life Singers, so I would put Time as one of my favorite tracks, and there are some other ones that I will get into. Now with the song 4748, this is delving even deeper into the world's problems. This time around, it's focusing on the regularity of the violence. This one does have a light funk vibe to it, but overall it didn't really stick out to me much. And the song Feels Like Summer from a couple of years ago is back on this album, fitting in pretty well because it does have similar themes on it about climate change, as well as how the world is getting faster and faster and moving out of control. This time around it's titled 4226, and I thought it was still a cool track, man. These couple of years later, it seems like it wasn't that long ago when it came out, but then I saw that it was 2018. So that goes to show you how fast time flies. And yeah, this is another track that does have some light guitar on it, as well as a summertime feel. So I would put that as one of my favorites too. But the standout track by far has got to be 1910. Absolutely love this one, and I know that it is sacrilegious to compare anyone to the legend Prince, R.I.P., but that's the type of vibes I got on this, man. Just the way the beat has this funky bounce and warble to it, and also the way that he's singing really gave me those Prince vibes. That's the feeling I got listening to it, and I would put that as my favorite track overall out of all these songs. I also like on the chorus how he sings that to be beautiful is to be hunted, which very clearly seems to be speaking on how when you're desirable, people want you or maybe want what you have. It puts you in trouble, man. You can be in the spotlight. People are hunting after you. There's a lot of different ideas you can take from that. So that was a great song. But I also thought 5349 worked pretty well as an outro because Gambino was spitting with this high energy. There's some nice vocals on here. Just a very upbeat, triumphant track. Thought that was a cool way to wrap everything up considering how gloomy it was. But man, there are some moments on here that really took a lot away from this album for me and made me end up not liking the whole thing overall, like not an album that I would listen to from front to back or come back and revisit very often. The song 3222, for example, is one of the worst songs I've heard this year. I didn't like this shit at all, and I know it's going to make me sound like an old man on the porch shaking his cane, but some of this experimental type of shit just does not really stick with me. Like, there is some pretty cool production on it. It's very wild, almost has a tribal feel to it, but when you take that and then you get those mushy, heavily affected vocals over top, the whole thing just sounds like slop, man. This is not a song that I would come back to and listen to. Didn't really enjoy it. And even 3531, that was kind of fun and interesting because you're getting a country trap vibe to it. I understand how that could be fun for people. That's another track that I wouldn't come back to. So those were a couple of moments there. And then there are some other moments. There are some more songs on here that I really just don't like and see myself listening to again. 3928 is just stacked vocals over sparse piano. If this was just a short interlude, it would be fine, but at about 3 minutes, it is really boring, bland, and dull. Then we get the love song 2419. This is just a 7-minute slog, man. The first little bit of it just plods along really slowly. You're getting these alien-like vocal effects on here, although I will say once the song swells up and is in full effect, it is much better. But even still, I wasn't a fan of the song structure on this song. Same with some of the other songs. It seems like there's just way too much going on and they're really trying to get experimental here and do all these different things, but sometimes it just clashes in my opinion. Like on this song, for the last minute or so, you got frantic drums and breathing. Just little things like that throughout this album. I'm not saying just this one incident. There's just a lot of wild shit happening on here. And I understand how some people like that. Some people are more into the experimental type shit, or when people are doing all these different genres, mushing them together, just doing whatever they want. I do understand the appeal of that. But I like when there is a certain level of cohesion and when it's all executed very well. But there are plenty of moments on this that I really didn't like. So for me personally, I thought this was all right. Like, I didn't think this was all out trash. I appreciate him taking chances, but this would be one of my least favorite projects from him, and I'm going to go with a 5.5 out of 10. If you're a die-hard Gambino fan and you like pretty much everything he does, I'm sure you'll probably be happy with this. If you're more into experimental stuff, definitely give this a chance, because I'm not usually into experimental stuff too much. Sometimes it does work for me, but here it just seems like a lot of it was misguided, kind of messy and sloppy, just my opinion. But yeah, I'm always curious to hear what you guys have to say, especially about projects like this. I'm sure this will be a hot and cold one that people are going to talk about. And the only other song I didn't talk about was 1238. This one to me just has a rambly run-on verse from Gambino, a 21 Savage feature that's decent but didn't really stick out to me too much. And then the beat is mostly just this pretty bland loop. So, you know, this review kind of started positive. There are a couple of songs and moments that I like, but looking at the big picture and everything else going on, I didn't think this was really a great album, and I don't see myself coming back to it. Although 1910 is one song I really took from here that I thought was fun and it stuck out to me. That's a song that I really, really enjoyed. So I got that to come back to. Some of the other moments are okay, but they're certainly not calling me back enough. Compared to some of the stuff I like more this year. So there you have it. Let me know down below what you think about this one. Make sure you do that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. I do have a Twitch that I'm going to be setting up. I actually got 2 monitors now, which is pretty cool. So when I'm looking over this way, which I used to do anyway with my notes, I actually have my notes on another screen here. The Twitch is Luke James, not the singer. Now that I got my monitor set up, I got my capture card, I'm going to hook some shit up and be playing here. I think I might start off with some Witcher 3, because that's what I'm playing on Switch right now. That'll be pretty fun. You guys can pop in, we can chat hip-hop and music. The gaming is what I'm here for, but I also think it's a good idea to interact with you guys and answer some of the questions that I get once in a while, and we'll just hang out and kick it. So hopefully that'll be going on most nights. I don't have an all-out schedule yet. You guys know I'm married, I work full-time, I got 3 kids, so it's going to be hard to do. But generally speaking, even outside of streaming, I usually play my games. I'm on Atlantic time, so usually from like 9 to 12, something like that, a bit later at night. And then if things start taking off and things are doing pretty well, if I'm off work the next day or it's a weekend or something like that, I might come on a little bit earlier, play a bit later. We'll see, but it will mostly be later on in the evening that I'll be playing. So just keep that in mind, and hopefully that'll be up and running in a couple of days as I figure out what to do with all this new equipment, man, how to set all this shit up and do as best of a job that I can. It'll take me some time, but yeah, now I'm rambling. Thank you for watching, everybody. I already said to do that good YouTube, social media stuff, all that type of stuff. So yeah, now I'm just rambling. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.